Hey there everyone, Albedo238 here again, and I'm here with yet another installment in the My Thoughts on series of videos. And for this one, if you thought that all my every installment in My Thoughts on was going to be positive thoughts about people, about YouTubers and such, well, time for a little twist on this one. Because today we're talking about the Irate Gamer. Oh yeah, we're going there. Now, back when I was kind of new to YouTube, I was kind of wanting to cruise around, trying to find something entertaining to watch. I decided to find I wanted to find some people who would do reviews of bad games and such, and I wanted to find videos like that would give you some entertainment. And the Irate Gamer was actually one of the first people I actually ran across in terms of reviewers of bad games. The very first one was Eric Man Super in his review of Bartman versus, or Bartman meets Radioactive Man. And but after watching a couple of his reviews, I watched some of the Irate Gamer's reviews. And at first I thought these reviews were pretty good. At first anyway. Pardon me. But over time, as I started to realize that some of the games a few of the games that he was bashing on were actually considered, classics in the gaming community. Such games that he was bashing on were Ghosts and Goblins, Zombies Ate My Neighbors, and one of his most recent ones, Cool Spot. He was bashing on these games, nitpicking on them for just tiny little problems that should be just minuscule compared to the overall quality of the game. He was ignoring that, But it seems like the only reason he was doing that is because some of these games he was bashing on were considered underrated gems, in the gaming market, and were very, very underappreciated. And because they were, I think that's the only reason why he bashes on them so much, or doesn't really give them a lot of respect. But when it comes to a big name game, something like by Nintendo, like a really big name title like Super Smash Bros. Brawl, or one of his more recent ones, Donkey Kong Country Returns. If it's a really big name title, it's one that could get a lot of attention, he just kisses its ass. He just absolutely loves it. And what can I say? Irate Gamer, or Chris Boris is his real name. Should have mentioned that first. But, Irate Gamer, just to let you know something, all the good games that those big name titles that you love so much, that you think are so great, they have problems too, okay? They're maybe minuscule, but they've got problems too. Alright, just to let you know that. Because right now you're kind of showing a case of double standards. So, with that said and done, now of course, one of the biggest complaints about people, people have had about him in the past, is that he was a rip-off of the Angry Video Game Nerd. And considering that the Angry Video Game Nerd did come before, the Irate Gamer, and a lot of the material, and the Angry Video Game Nerd, or when he originally went by his username James Nintendo Nerd, or he originally was the Angry Nintendo Nerd back then. James Nintendo Nerd was just his username. When he went by the Angry Nintendo Nerd, he kind of set the standard. He kind of set the standard for game reviewers who out there who wanted to review bad games and such, or just wanted to review games in general. And that was I guess for YouTube that was pretty big at the time. But the thing is, all these reviewers, at least all of these reviewers do appreciate the angry video gamer. They appreciate what he did. You know, they appreciate his work. They respect him. The Irate Gamer doesn't seem to do that. In fact, he hasn't just taken material from the angry video gamer. He's also taken material from other reviewers like Armake and such. He takes material from them. He takes ideas from them and uses it to make his reviews and make it out to be like they're original or something, like they're just wholly original, which they're not. Now, and that is pretty bad, especially considering he's doing this for money. You know, this Armake 21 mentioned that in his rant on the Irate Gamer, that he's only here for money. Okay, that's clearly what it's for. You know, especially with his partnership, you know, and selling DVDs, it's all about business for him. You know, he doesn't really care about the public. He's just in it for himself, and he's in it for exposure. That's it. But I will say, in more recent days, he has gotten a little more original. He's gotten a little bit better. Well, by a bit anyway. I mean, I liked his double review of Mario is Missing and Mario's Time Machine. I will say that was pretty good. The fact that and he does consider himself more of a comedian than a reviewer. But even as a comedian, he fails because in the end, really, he's not that funny. You know, he's just not that funny at all. You know, and what else can I say? What else is what can I say that hasn't been said? You know, he's just you can say he's just in it for exposure. He's in it for the money. He's just there for business. He's going to sell his name, and that's his choice. But you know what? I still think there are better reviewers out there to watch. You know, the game reviewers I mentioned in past installments of my thoughts on, like Spoonie 1, K-Wing, Game King 53, the Happy Video Game Nerd, and many others I'm going to be doing videos on, such as Never Chris and Carlito on SP1, at least for the few reviews he's done. And a few others who are still remaining at this point, because there's not many reviewers left, not many great reviewers, left at this point. But I'm gonna be, those people I'm going to be doing videos on, people I've done videos on, they're far more talented than the Irate Gamer. In terms of knowledge of reviews, how in depth it goes, and just and the fact that they can actually kind of look past the minuscule problems of a game and still say it's good. They don't let the tiny shit get to them. Whereas Irate Gamer, if it gives him shit, if it just gives him even just the tiniest little bit of shit, he just shits back in tenfold. And that's just really not fair. But who knows? Maybe it's really his opinion, or maybe he's just, I don't know if it's really his opinion at all. But if it is, all I can say to you, Irate Gamer, is that if it is your opinion, that's fine. But just the fact you're shitting on little underrated games, just because no one bothers with them, despite the fact that they are classics, that's all I have to say is, fuck you. Anyway, that'll be all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I tried to make it as entertaining as possible. I doubt I did, but I will see you around next time. Ciao.